Hello everyone, and welcome to another episode of Extinct Bricks Originals! And for this very special episode, guys, we'll be featuring the LEGO Custom Jurassic World Centrosaurus. But before we head on with this video, the winners of the Guess Is PC contest winners will be announced later on in the video, so stay tuned, guys! But for now, let's move on with the making of the Centrosaurus. So I'm using here an alternate version of the Triceratops, and you can see just the modifications on the head. So I placed here the horns on the top, on the nose, and then also some modifications on the frills as well. Okay, so now we're making a Centrosaurus. The Centrosaurus will actually have the same body as that of a Triceratops. So we have one here. So the main modifications are actually for the head, right? So let's pick out the head here, and I'm going to describe very briefly what I actually did here. So the Triceratops head is actually, or the frill is actually forwarded a bit like this. So let me show you an example. So here is a LEGO Triceratops. As you can see here, the frills are actually more horizontal like so, while the frills of the Centrosaurians are actually moved a little back like so. So what I did here was I used a hair dryer to heat up everything like so. So for example, I would be heating up this portion here, and then when it's hot, I will try to pull it back like so until it gets to a point or the angle that I'm happy with. So with that, I was actually able to place in the frill of the Centrosaurus to the angle that I'm happy with. So look at this. So these are the differences between the Triceratops and that of the Centrosaurus. Of course, the Centrosaurus will have a single horn, nasal horn on here, a long one, and I use actually the horns of the Triceratops for this. And also the face of the Centrosaurus will have a certain, a knob or a bigger nose to it. And then the frill will be adorned with two spikes here, as well as spikes on the top as well. So we're going to sculpt over this particular figure, and then we're going to paint it. Okay, so for the sculpting, we are going to use equal parts of non-sag epoxy A and B. So we combine them together, so don't use your hands, girls and boys. But when you have already mixed it, you can already touch it, okay? So here's a premix that I've already done earlier on using several tools. So we're going to put just a little bit at a time on the face. You don't want to overdo it so that it's not very heavy, and it's not gonna feel like it's there's just too much, and it's going to increase the head size of the Ceratopsian. Okay, so we're just covering a little bit at a time. Okay, so now we have our finished sculpt on the Centrosaurus. We're just going to leave this for around 6 hours for it to fully cure and harden like stone, and then we're going to primer it. So let's just try and put it back on its head, on its body. Careful not to break anything. There you have it, our Centrosaurus. Alright, so we have here our Centrosaurus already primered up with embossing number 68 in gray. Alright, so I used that, at least 2 coats of that, and once that is already dry, around 2 or 3 hours after that, we can already start on the painting. So we'll be using this particular reference for this purpose. So I think this Centrosaurus is quite simple. It has several details there going on the back, subtle details, but with bright red, colorations on the frills. Alright, so we're going to do that, and we're going to need some acrylics here. So we have here yellow ochre, meadow green, we also have black, white. We will also be using burnt sienna here. We also have a burnt amber, orange, as well as red. Okay, so those are the colors that we will be using. Also, we'll need some water and of course brushes. Right, so let's start on the painting, shall we? Okay, so for the primary coat, this is just a mixture of yellow ochre, a little bit of brown, some greens, and then white, and just a touch of black for it, so that it's not so bright. Okay, so we're coating on most parts of the creature, including the head, the body, that would also include the back of the frills, as well as that of the extremities. Now for the lower portions of the Centrosaurus, we are actually mixing here just some yellow ochre, a little bit of black, and also white. So this will coat the under sections of the Centrosaurus, including that of the head. So the darker parts of the Centrosaurus actually is included in the sections of the ends of the tail, is that of the legs, and some parts of course of the frills as well. We're just painting on several details on this one until everything is all dry, and then we're moving on with the darker sections now. Now this is just a mixture of the lighter yellows that we had earlier on, and the colors on the back that we actually used, and this is going to be the transition color that we are painting on in between those colors of the underbelly and also the portions on the back. Now using the colors of the back, I've mixed a lot more black to it, and then we're painting it on the sections where the darker portions of the Centrosaurus will be at. So that actually served as the transition color. So we're now painting on the darker more portions of the Centrosaurus. So this is I just added some more black to the existing colors that we used earlier on, and we're painting it on the Centrosaurus. Make sure that what you have actually used for, or what you have actually painted on earlier, is already fully dry before you even move on to another color, so that you won't mess up the colors with your fingers, or you won't actually drag certain colors from where they're at and going towards where they shouldn't be. So we're just adding several more details to the Centrosaurus. Now we have actually painted the frill white, and now we're adding in the red colors. This is a mixture of red and also a little bit of orange. Okay, and that is where we end our making of the video on the Centrosaurus. I hope you guys enjoyed this video so far and learned something from it as well. Okay, so let us now move on with the next portion of this video. We will be announcing the Guesses PC Contest winners for this particular video. And of course, we have 10 lucky picks, and here they are: Liam, Troy, Vulcanospinus, Pedro, 19 Narwick, Quinzosaurus, Rooney, Gemma Ludin, and Sean Xavier, and Ian Malcolm. Congratulations everyone! And now for top 10 winners: Mikhail Patrick, Victor Gabriel,
Top 9,
Rico
Top
Whiting,
2,
Zara
Top
Peterson,
7,
Vulverinatus. Symbiosis. Maximum power. Grotrobax Shandy. Hello Studio. And Cretaceous Bricks. Congratulations everyone! And I'll see you on the next Guesses PC contest. For those of you who would like to join, here's how. Just click on the Extinct Bricks icon and it will lead you to the Extinct Bricks homepage. In the homepage, just click on that community link and it will lead you to all my posts. Alright, now it's time to move on to Assembricks. Alright, so this is pretty simple build. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 6 pieces to this one. So let's start Assembricks, okay? So let's pick up the body and then let's, connect the head. So it has a lot of movement, as you can see here. It's a ratchet point. Then let's connect the arms or the forelegs. As you can see here. And then that's the left one. The right hind leg. And then the left. Yeah, simple. Part completed. Centrosaurus. Dino Trivia. Centrosaurus means pointed lizard. Kentron, point, and Saurus, lizard, and refers to a series of small hornlets placed along the margin of their frills and not on the nasal horns. Now for a closer look. Hi everyone, so this is a new creature for you for the new year. Our Centrosaurus. Okay, so our Centrosaurus is actually based off from this particular photo that I got from Google. Art is indicated below. Okay, so our Centrosaurus is actually one of those ceratopsians that I'm longing to, make from before, and now I'm really happy that we have actually did this one. So it's going to be a good addition to my collection of ceratopsians for this year. Okay, so let's get it started, guys. So taking a look closely on the Centrosaurus, you can see here that there are subtle changes in terms of the head, but the body is definitely not changed at all. But we actually painted it with the scheme or the color scheme that I actually showed you earlier. Okay, so the Centrosaurus actually has this long, large horn on its nasal section. I had made sculpting adjustments here on the area of the nose, added here a little bit of spike or horn, if you may say, on the sections here on the eyes, as well as made differences or adjustments here on the frills as well. Okay, so the color scheme is quite different from most of my ceratopsians that I made earlier on, but I think it really does make a handsome job on it. So what do you guys think? Right? So it's simple, but I think it rocks. Alright, so that's it for our closer look on the Centrosaurus. And now on with some size comparisons. Of course, we will be comparing first our Centrosaurus with this minifigure Eevee. As you can see here, it's just about the right size, I guess, with the Centrosaurus, even a little bit more smaller, I guess. But yeah, a Centrosaurus is actually can be seen in many different sizes because it has actually been discovered in hundreds and hundreds of fossils in one place. So there are young, juvenile, also adults, and even larger specimens like this one. Okay, so let's now compare with other ceratopsians that I made so far in the past, shall we? First up, this is our Styracosaurus. The Styracosaurus is actually one of my favorite creations from before, and I know there are much more larger Styracosauruses that are found recently, In terms of size, the Styracosaurus can be larger. So I think I want to make another one of these, but a much larger one, but smaller than these Ceratopsian sizes. But yeah, so it's definitely smaller than our Centrosaurus. Next up we have our Diabloceratops. So the Diabloceratops is actually based off from the Beast of Mesozoic line of Ceratopsians. I think they really did a good job in, you know, depicting their Ceratopsians. Very colorful, if I may say, not only on the frills but also on the body. So non-exception for this particular Ceratopsian. The Diabloceratops is actually one of those more colorful ones that they have actually created. So definitely, in terms of size, it's much smaller than our Centrosaurus, but a lot more colorful, I guess. Yeah, row. Alright, so next up, this is our Nasutoceratops. So the Nasutoceratops is actually part of my video from before, which is Battle at Big Rock. So if you haven't checked out that video yet, please check it out. I think it's a cool video. It's my attempt to do stop motion, but it's really not. So the Nasutoceratops is actually one of those ceratopsians that Jurassic World Dominion as well as Jurassic World Battle at a Big Rock is actually being promoted. So let's see how it is. So it's very rudimentary how I made this one, but yeah, I don't know if I will recolor this or at least make a new one. We'll see. Oh. Ay, bakit? Also, this is our Sinoceratops. The Sinoceratops is one of my favorite ceratopsians as well from the movie Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom. I remember its, tongue licking Owen Grady. Now, I'm not going there, guys. But yeah, our Sinoceratops is one of those colorful ceratopsians as well, with its frill having holes and also differently colored patterns on its frills. About the same size of our Centrosaurus here, but only with a larger frill size, and of course a bigger but shorter horn on its nose. Okay, so next up would be, of course, our Triceratops. So our Triceratops here is already a homage, I guess, to Jurassic Park 1 or Jurassic Park Triceratops. As most of you know, the Triceratops there is colored brown in the movie, but it's actually just covered in dirt. The animatronic for the Triceratops is actually more of a bluish white color, so that is why it is actually this particular color on the Triceratops. So yeah, so if you haven't checked out the video, guys, on my Triceratops, please do check it out. It's much larger than our Centrosaurus here, as well as with my other ceratopsians. So here's just a comparison of the Lego Triceratops from, I think this is from 2005. I'm not sure, but yeah. So this is one of those first releases of the Triceratops. So I have two of these, and if you can see here, it's just about the right size here as that of the Centrosaurus, but definitely it's much smaller than our Triceratops. Yeah, so even from the height of the body, it's much smaller. Okay, so and that's it for our size comparisons. Let's now move on with the species roll call. Okay, so now we have everything here. What you've seen so far, what that I've shown earlier on. I hope if you do have other suggestions of other ceratopsians or any other herbivore that you'd like to see here on Extinct Freaks, please comment them down below on the comment section. Also, EB here would like to remind you guys that all that you see here are actually present in our Extinct Freaks playlist. So check it out, guys. I'll be putting up also individual links of all the creatures you see here so that you won't have to browse through all my items. Alright? Okay, so let's do our species roll call. First up, we have the Nasutoceratops from Jurassic World. This is our Extinctrix Triceratops from Jurassic Park. This is our Extinctrix Diabloceratops based off from the Beast of Mesozoic creatures. This is our Extinctrix Jurassic World Sinoceratops. This is our Extinctrix Jurassic Park Operation Genesis Styracosaurus. This is my Lego Triceratops. And of course, to start the show here, this is our Centrosaurus, of course, by me, Extinctrix. Yeah, I hope you enjoyed this video, guys. There's a lot more coming in for 2022, so I'll see you guys, everyone, for this year. I'll be leaving in several more photos and as well as video clips of the Centrosaurus, so wait until the end of the video, guys. Thanks! It's a new year and a new video for you guys. I hope you guys enjoyed this one, and again, thank you so much for all your support. I couldn't have not done it without you guys, with your likes and your comments as well. So, for you guys, thank you and maraming salamat sa inyong lahat. Also, please don't forget to watch our other channels, EB Toy Universe and The Adventures of Moira and Asher. Please watch their videos and support their channel as well by subscribing. And as we always would say, let your inner dino break roar! Thanks everyone and bye!